I initially had a very dismal view of the outcome from COP. I characterized it as too little, too late. And it was. On the other hand, now that I'm thinking about the future and planning for COP27, I'm changing my analysis to better than nothing.
Many countries are seeing the impacts of climate change, from wildfires in the United States, the flooding in Germany, the experiences in many African countries with drought. So what I saw was the emergence of a shared experience of catastrophe.
We are now facing significant shocks and stresses due to climate change. And so we need to build resilience and adapt to them now.
This is the first time that adaptation got so much attention. And for the first time, there was a deeper link between adaptation and resilience.
There was finally increased appreciation for the fact that there are many countries, communities who are already at the front end of dealing with the impacts of climate change. And so we need to be more urgent in terms of addressing this issue.
The participation of lots of people globally on the net gave this particular COP a completely different perspective.
The critical key was getting those voices heard at the COP that normally wouldn't be heard.
We need to build on that and make it a bigger success in COP27.
I do think that there is a lot more that can be done.
We think they failed us. They failed young people. They failed the most affected communities and areas and Pacific Islands and those countries like Bangladesh. And this COP was a very exclusive.
Even when you look at the negotiations, it often doesn't look very diverse to me.
I think the biggest failure from my perspective is the failure to recognize that COP26 is the first COP out of all the COPs we've had so far that is taking place in the era of impacts of climate change.
We weren't talking about something that was going to happen in the future. We're talking about something that's going on now.
We need to start acting, to start doing things. We need to stop talking and actions need to happen.
Increased engagement from private sector. I thought that was positive because it signaled that there is an appetite to engage in other ways through other channels to drive solutions.
And really the private sector recognizing the need for both mitigation and resilience building, and also really wanting to get on the front foot of addressing these issues and working with others.
When we think about resilience and adaptation, there is a need to focus on locally led initiatives, right? And innovations that are being born from the experiences on the ground. So I thought that the visibility given to some of those initiatives was quite positive.
The COP was not successful in locating the climate struggle in the context of global health, solidarity, and the need for World Trade Organization reforms to ensure equal access to vaccines, nor did it address the unequal global economic system.
That model of economic growth, which is based on carbon, is not going to serve the planetary need of sustainability.
So without transition from the wrong system to a environment-friendly economic model, we cannot make real sustainable development.
That transition is not going to come without lots of people kicking and screaming about it. And the question is, who's going to turn that wave?
We are living in a 1.1 degree warmed world because of human beings. They are causing loss and damage. So preventing 1.5 about the future is no longer the only game in town. We have to deal with the reality of what's happening right now. COP26 failed to raise to that level, but COP27 can.
Expectations for the next COP are huge because it's going to be in the south, in Africa.
I think what a key agenda item will be the global goal for adaptation and financial flows.
How do we translate what has been a lot of discussion and, goodwill and all of that into real benefits?
GRP's playing an important role in driving forward the resilience agenda. We play a really important role as a neutral knowledge broker. And as a partnership of over 60 organizations, we're really able to bring together that diversity of voices.
So partnership is crucial. Without global partnership, we cannot succeed in this global war, in climate crisis. So GRP and GRP's partner can support community-based organization to lead.
So I think that there's an opportunity here for the partnership to really amplify those messages, but even take a more strategic position, which is advocacy, and really pushing the needle and having and prompting those very difficult conversations around effective financing for adaptation.
The big message is that action needs to happen now. The time for talking is coming to an end. It's a time for action.